Hello and welcome to Mzansi. We are back. It is a time
on the troll.
It is that time. And yeah, we've been gone, man. Last time we left, Emily was almost... We are here again. So I hope that this is going to be a bit permanent. Yeah, we're back. Things are not going the way that we last left them in terms of our systems. But yay, we are here, and we hope that you are also here. What happened today, and that's how you would know. Even the way I entered, it's like I just jumped because I saw the system was saying something else while I was also saying something else. But yay, I hope that everyone is here and you can hear us clear. Yeah, let's hear what happened. I see many people are here. It's a good thing. It's a Sunday, and we are working on Sunday because Emily was sick. I'm into Emily.
Yes, guys, it was rough. My throat, my voice, everything
was gone. Like Miss Pink.
Like Miss Fillingham. Yeah. I was having the similar issues. You know, I laughed, and maybe people may find that maybe I was insensitive or whatever, but I was laughing because literally I'm going through it as well, or I was going through it, but now my voice is back.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling a little bit better.
Yeah.
Although with some of the personal things I have going on, it's a bit overwhelming. But now I'm sorted, I believe.
You're sorted.
So I hope we can push through and continue, go back to our normal routine.
Yes. Hey, these flus in South Africa, icon.
I don't know what kind of a demonic flu is this. I don't like it. Whatever is going on, it needs to stop.
If we have to start afresh and vote, we'll have to do that. No. We don't mind this flu as long as the flu is done, you know. Yeah, by the way, we are here. Please like the video, share the video. We haven't talked about Thabo
Bester at all.
Yes, we have.
That whole theatric, that whole shenanigans of a speech, that whole performance. Guys, what did you think about that whole, Your Honor, I have not. I can't believe he was begging to wear his designer clothes. He wanted to wear his designer clothes freely to the court.
It's an advertisement.
Me, guys. I was like, what is happening? What is wrong with this guy? What is wrong with this guy? I hear all the other stuff that he was raising, important issues, but his case is one that I find it difficult to speak on his behalf. But although the interesting aspect is this political drama that he be talking about. You know, when he said that it's politically what? My ear just got like, And then now he put up a petition, suggested a petition according to section what of, hey, he's been studying. He in his cell. I'm sure he has law books in there. It took me 3 months to get hold of the Constitution. I wanted the Constitution, Your Honor, so that I can hear Matumba Mudimu. Hi, Thabo Bester. Hi, gang. But one thing I have to say, I now understand how people that were convinced to do things were eventually convinced. The way he was prepared and ready, it gives you an idea of what kind of a scammer he is. He gets inside your heart and your head. No wonder why he was able to convince Dr. Nandipa, if there was any convincing that he needed to do. Can you imagine the conversations that would be happening behind the scenes? It'd be like, I was framed. I was forced to confess. there's a Katomena, Katomena squad. And I was like, hey Batumba Mudimu, what is going on? I was catching my breath every time he was speaking. A whole 45 minutes of ranting. I'm like, why did they give him a platform to speak? Why?
Perhaps you would like to tell us this Katomania squad. I mean, I'm happy you spoke. What is that squad?
The Katomana Killer Squad. It was an organization within the police, according to the research that I've done. Guys, with my research, sometimes I may be wrong because I'm using information that's publicly available.
So
but
alleged.
For those people who may have better understanding of the squad, you are more than welcome to share your knowledge in the comment section and on the chat if you're live.
Yeah.
Yes. But what I read upon it is that it was this division of the police in KZN. They kind of work like the NIU now, how it's working. A lot of people were deleted under them. It seems they were involved in cases that had to do with taxi situations.
Okay.
Political as well, politics. It seems like the allegations that go about how they did their work is that if you are a prominent person, you could always, order certain arrests of certain people.
Okay.
Allegedly, everything is alleged. But from what I read, those are the kind of serious allegations that popped up. In fact, there was a case where they had deleted a couple of people. Yeah. And that case was dropped, I think, in 2018 or 2019. And that squad, it has been disbanded. Like that one in Ekurhuleni that's on the Senzomeiwa case. The SWAT.
The SWAT.
The Katomena Killer Squad also has been disbanded. I feel like I'm talking about dangerous things.
Yeah, it's public knowledge. I mean, we didn't go and dig for them. It's there.
And Thabo Bester mentioned them. I didn't know that such a unit existed, or even it was there. So that part he's not a completely 100% inaccurate. Maybe he's inaccurate in perhaps some of the things, but that Katomena killer, he did his research there.
Look, I've always, and people who have been following me with this case, I've always felt somehow in a manner in which he was arrested for the so-called, the first case actually that put him in jail. I've always questioned the way in which it happened.
It has a lot of question marks, right?
Yeah, it has a lot of question marks.
And a lot of mystery.
I know one would say, I mean, he has been found guilty for that case. But
and he pleaded guilty.
Yes, I'm happy that he brought it up. Because to me, I would say this. I still don't think he's the one.
You don't think so?
I don't think he, I read about it, how he was caught. I think there was even this celeb. Who's the celeb? Peltusi, who gave him a lift
after he came from the crime.
He took him to what? To the pastor.
To a pastor.
And the known pastor also. Who was a singer, I think. Right?
But before that, he was dating this young lady.
Yeah.
I forgot her name. I think it's Tutukile. I forgot her name. My apologies. But he was dating her. Apparently, they met at the garage.
Yeah.
And they started, seeing each other, dating and whatnot. And then Thabo Bester suggested a trip to Durban.
Yeah.
And they go to Durban. And this one night, she loses her life. Something horrible happens to her. and then Thabo Bester is the one who's caught for that crime.
For that crime.
For that crime. They said it's him who did it. It's him who ended that young lady's life, and before taking her life, he also forced himself on her.
And then he goes on to date someone like Maguduman, very learned person.
And now that I think, I mean, there's a story there, and part of the reason why he, in my opinion, I'm not gonna say that he's guilty or he didn't do it. I'm not exonerating him, you guys. Please.
No.
It's just getting into
We're trying to make sense of what
is going on here. Because in observing how that case went, he didn't have much to say. It's almost like he was afraid. In my opinion, I don't know how many of you guys watch that recording of him with the psychologist.
What is happening now.
Yes.
Where he wants to speak.
Yes. And you can see that he's a person who likes talking.
Yeah.
He's a person who likes defending himself. He's a scammer, for heaven's sake. But in that case, he was too quiet. He was almost like giving himself to the slaggeest to say, do whatever you want to do, I'm over this.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys got the time to read the story. To me, that story didn't make sense. And from there, everyone who was part or who happened to have an encounter with him, they kept quiet. I mean, for example, someone like Pearl, who likes to speak, nothing said, nothing. She just kept quiet after that. That's why I'm saying what is alleging to me, now,
because you also have even though a lot of people would be like, but this has nothing to do with what he's currently done and what is happening right now. In my opinion, it does. And
it
it's
has
strictly
everything.
my opinion.
It has everything, if you ask me, because this man is brave enough to be outside, go
for
to
a
store,
whole year,
buy things. And from what we are hearing about that jail, it's one hell of a jail where security is tight.
Very tight.
I mean, I don't
They
care
have
if you say
CCTV. In fact, they caught him walking out, being assisted to walk out. At this point, we're not even gonna call it an escape.
Yeah. So
they literally assisted him to walk out of the prison.
From what I'm hearing is that he was let go. That's what he's saying.
Yes.
To
and
go
he
live
was
his
let
life
to live
out.
his life.
And then next thing he hears that he's most wanted person, then he tries to escape the country, in my opinion, and then the very same people then obviously made sure they catch him.
Yes. And we've been following the money trail, right? We've been following a little bit of the money trail.
Yeah.
How he's been able to get a hold of such amounts of money.
Exactly. It talks to power, if you ask me. He's right. In my opinion, what he's saying about politicians being involved is right. I mean, a normal person like you, Emily, just being outside, that kind of a money would warranty someone to investigation.
Yes.
Yes, but he was not investigated. In fact, that money was only found out after
he was caught. And it's a lot. We mentioned the 917 million that we heard from the spokesperson of the Action SA at the Free State.
Yes.
She said it was 917 million that they found in a bank account in his name.
Close to $1
billion.
Was
917 million.
Millions. Now that tells you something that we need. In all honesty, it worries me that we look at this guy and I hear many people. I was watching this video. Some lady saying I was sitting next to Bester. He actually invited me to come to Cape Town. I'm wondering what could have happened to me. I think that man was not. He was a smooth talker.
He still is. I mean, that whole speech.
Yes.
That gave you a clue as to how Abonandipa were intertwined in that mess.
Stuff like it sounded like I would die for you. You know, and the face of Nandipa with a bit of tears. A good storytelling, I mean, if you ask me, in my own opinion. So you look at that and you try to put two and two together. It doesn't add up. As much as we would like to credit him for his wisdom and intelligence that he has, I don't know if you may call it like that, but it's impossible to have that way without being given that way. There are things that you need to be given by powers. I mean, power, at some point, power would just open the doors that are seemingly impossible. On the wall, power would open a door for you. And from what I'm hearing now, I was waiting for such, where I'm hearing something like that says, I mean, a lot of things are not questioned. Are not questioned there. A lot of things are not questioned. A guy who was investigating this case was called. There was after that call, we know what happened, and then from there, it all went under the bridge. If you ask me,
yeah, it was swept under the rug.
It all became the theory of
a big deal.
This guy took his life. Did we believe that? In my opinion, I did not. Not even once did I believe that. You know, like it is not convincing.
And his nephew as well said the same sentiments.
That it sounds like a story that I've heard of people who disappear after they've done crime. All of a sudden we hear there's an accident that happened, that person is gone, then we don't even see a funeral. And then we don't even see a funeral of those people. I'm talking about those ones, we don't even see a funeral of those people, and they disappear. They're gone. Then they are cleansed, in my opinion, with the blood of Jesus.
And also, I remember the brother of Nandipa mentioning in some other interview that the money, some of it was with IDC. And I was like, what? So this means that there's a political connection here.
And that's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
There's no way.
That's what he's saying.
There's no way IDC would just give money like that.
There are crimes that he did. In my opinion, if you talk about the crimes of finances, I would agree to that. But these things that are happening, the power that he had for someone who was inside, and obviously one might say it's because he had money. Yes, but who gave him that money?
It's a lot of money. Who gave it to him?
So those are the things that I have questions about, and I'm trying to understand, and really they don't make sense to me. We can look at a lot of things. We know how South Africa, yes, the name. Yes, someone mentioning one name that after big crimes.
Yes, we didn't even see that funeral.
No, and there's no story.
The funeral of that particular individual, we did not see it.
And the power of media, it's gone.
It's gone. It's like nothing happened.
If media decides to ignore it, it dies. That's the power of media.
But all of the energies put into Thabo Bester. Here's an example of someone who did way worse than Thabo Bester.
Yes, financially.
Way worse.
Way worse, yes, financially.
But.
And this is someone who was like hands-on, dirty hands, if you ask me. And the media, they decide to call your name, you become the villain. If they don't, it's information that we will never know.
Which is something else that Thabo Bester was crying about, that the media has crucified me. The media has, but why aren't they the same energy? It would be nice if it was consistent.
Investigation.
With the others.
By papers, by media itself. Just do your investigation as you always do. Right? With others. So they don't. They're not going to do that. we are flying with what we're hearing in court, and then the news, we just get a glimpse of that, and that's it.
That's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah, let me go through this speech of his that he gave. Let's unpack it step by step. So the pre-trial for Thabo Bester and Nandipha Makutumane, the 7 co-accused, was unable to get underway. There was supposed to be a pre-trial conference starting. And because he didn't have a lawyer, we got that whole speech. The pre-trial was supposed to start in February,
it's
but
a good
could
thing
not begin.
that they gave him that chance of speaking. Or maybe it's because he can speak English. There's a different court of Bondanzi.
They were not allowed to speak. They're like, we're not going to speak to you unless you have a legal representative, sir.
Do you understand?
You cannot be spoken to unless if you have a legal representative.
I'm surprised that he was allowed to speak.
I will not speak to you unless if you have a legal representative, sir.
I'm not going to be addressed by you.
I'm not going to be addressed by you. I'm going to be addressed by a legal representative.
Exactly.
So with the Bester, he was given the time.
All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than the others.
So the pre-trial was supposed to start in February but could not begin because too many of the accused had changed their legal representatives. Advocate Kagisho Mururi, representing former G4S employee Sinohe Matswara, also said that he was not trial ready as he did not have financial instructions from his client.
Yes.
Matswara.
So financial instruction meaning
the VW
they never paid.
They didn't pay him. He didn't get paid. Financial instructions means he didn't get mchangura. He didn't get paid. So Mururi said that he expected the matter to be sorted out within 6 weeks. Hey, it looks like it may be time to sell that VW.
You think it doesn't have money though?
I don't know.
I think it was just buying time.
Buying time for what?
I don't know. Whatever that they need to buy time for, but it seems as if it aligns with everything. I mean, it aligns with Baxter not having someone to represent him, and then all of a sudden the lawyer who has been representing this guy he doesn't have financial instructions.
But yet he showed up. Thabo Bester made a dramatic late entrance in court wearing a brown coat and looking presentable, in my opinion. That outfit is way better than the LVs that cost 20K and the jerseys, the cardigans that cost. It was well put together, in my opinion.
Yeah,
for court.
What he wants to wear, those expensive clothes, if you ask me, it says I know I'm not guilty. So I should rock anything that I want to rock it.
Okay.
That's what to me it says. It's like, okay, I'm free actually.
Okay. So the judge was different to the previous one that said before. And on Wednesday, Thabo Bester's legal representative, advocate Mohammed Sidat, also withdrew as Bester's attorney. Sidat said that he could not continue to travel back and forth between Bloemfontein and Pretoria, where Bester is being held. It's quite a distance. It's a long distance. And Sidat told the court that it is in his best interest to procure legal representation from Pretoria, where such legal representatives will have better access to him on a regular basis. So he's recommending that Bester gets a lawyer who's within Pretoria.
What is the logic also just arresting him and putting him in Pretoria while the case is in Bloemfontein? I mean, that's taxpayers' money also. I know that you're going to talk about the security and whatnot.
He refused to go back to Bloemfontein, remember?
Did he refuse to go to the same jail? Or
yes, the same prison.
Prison? Is there no other?
Maybe there are others, I don't know. But that one, Mangaung, he refused. He said that his life is not going to be safe there. That's why they put him there at the CMAX in Pretoria.
Yeah, but that's a distance, man, from here to Bloemfontein.
Every time he has to make a court appearance, even it's getting to him. He was complaining about waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's getting to him as well. It's a lot. It's a lot. Distance that he has to travel.
Yeah.
Hi. So Bester then tried to raise his hand to speak and was reprimanded by Judge Joseph Mahlambi, who said, "Mr. Bester, please stop. Please stop the theatrics." So already I could sense that he wants to say something. So Bester said that he was raising his hand because both his hands were cuffed. He was asking them to uncuff one hand. This was a response to the judge telling him to stop with the theatrics. So he said that the legal representative that was in court previously before CDAT were not appointed by him. He said that he did not sign any mandate. They were appointed outside of mandate, and it was clarified by the coordinating attorney that they would have to withdraw from this appearance.
So something like Mjiako.
Something like that.
Yeah, but so this thing exists actually.
It's interesting though.
It exists where you get a lawyer.
You just show up and there's a lawyer for you.
Depending on why you are arrested and who did you touch, you might get a lawyer just for free.
He just rocked up and said, "I'm representing Bester." How nice. He said they were appointed outside of mandate, and it was clarified by his coordinating attorney that they would have to withdraw from this appearance. And Bester complained to the court that he struggled to consult with his previous legal representative while being held at the CMAX section of Kgoshimamburu prison. So it seems like at Kgoshimamburu they don't want him to consult with his lawyer. He said that at CMAX, he's not able to consult with his legal representation as he wishes. Even the client-attorney privilege of confidentiality is a challenge.
Isn't it the same prison when Ndanzi
Ndanzi's there?
And they were also complaining about few things there?
They were, initially when the case started, yes.
Okay.
There were complaints that Advocate therefore was raising, and TT, do you remember?
Yeah, that's about how
the treatment.
Yeah.
So he said that there's no client attorney privilege because the matter that he is dealing with, he has to do with Correctional Service Act. And directly, correctional services are the complainant because they are charging him with an escape.
Yeah.
He said that he feels that the confidentiality of his consultation is being compromised because they have a direct interest.
Yeah.
And he said that he cannot be able to divulge certain information to the alleged escape. He said that he does not believe that it's an escape. He cannot consult because of the restriction that the National Commissioner has instructed upon the wardens. I also happen to agree. I mean, he was assisted to walk out. You know, he was. They helped him.
I'm saying it's alleged. Obviously, that's what you.
But there's a recording of them walking out of the prison with him.
Yeah, but it's alleged. It's fine. I know. I agree with him that you can't be under the very same people that have a case against you. So it's like you're in a space of your enemies.
Yeah.
Who's to say that they won't record some of the consultations to prepare for their case?
Yeah.
To strengthen their case.
It's a court case. Anything is manner. Anything you find will be useful to the court. You use it.
Yeah.
It's out of even there. I don't think it's within their control to say, "Oh, attorney-client privilege." No way. No, we wanna know what they're talking about. We want to hear it. It can help us build a stronger case. I'm not saying that is what they are doing.
I mean, considering the fact that you hear what is happening with D4 and well, it's the same prison. Yes, with D4.
But apparently he's at Sun
limitation.
City now.
They've moved
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yes.
The things that we heard from D4's wife in terms of what he was saying on those social media spaces, I mean, you can't put it far from them.
Well, the system that has been set up for him is as if he has his own separate rooms concerning other inmates. You know what the funny thing is? When the news came out, it was reported that Thabo enjoyed his own company at a single cell at Mangaung. Remember that?
Yes, yes.
He could even work on a laptop and stuff in that single cell.
Yes.
And now it seems to have trouble being in a single cell now.
Is it a single cell where it's like single, maybe the protection one, or it's the one that is unpleasant to be at?
Maybe at Mangaung it wasn't pleasant because he could always order whatever he wanted.
It was pleasant because
it was pleasant, yes. And then with this one, because the guards are even instructed not to speak to him.
Because he could change your mind.
Nimzwile kodwa. I saw even a lot of people tweeting and saying, but Mara, I see why Magudumana fell for him. You know, I can understand why Magudumana is in that situation. I'm like, hey, bo, guys, what's going on?
I think, however, we might give him credit. I think he was assisted by the attorney in terms of what he was reading down. There was a bit of strategic movement, in fact, if you ask me. It was prepared. Considering that he's
people
not
now are
given
feeling
that
sorry
margin.
for him, but Tumbamutimu, all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, we've come so far. What is happening? Well, he said that consultation with his lawyer were done telephonically with the calls recorded by the Department of Correctional Services. This, he said, was a problem as the department is a respondent in the case. He said that it has been proven that it's used as a mechanism to try and access information from consultations. He said that he wants to be provided an environment where he can consult with his lawyers freely. He said that he's at the stage of finalizing a legal team, but he will also be dealing with the same challenges. So Mahlambi, the judge, advised Bester to get a lawyer to bring a formal application before a court to deal with his concerns. He was a lawyer of Bester on Wednesday, quoting from the Bill of Rights, the fundamental right of the Constitution, Section 25(3). Is that everyone is entitled to a fair trial. The judge corrected him to say that it's actually Section 35, but then...
He doesn't have internet. He can't play people. There's no internet.
The judge advised him to get a legal representative so that he can bring the application in court, and he said that he would not deal with the matter on a premature basis. The matter is non-existent to him until he can get a legal representation. So this is also something that I'm learning, Mr. Anonymous. In Mzansi, you cannot speak about your case without a lawyer. Your lawyer is your mouthpiece.
Yeah, unlike in America, where we have heard of series where people have represented themselves successfully. In South Africa,
no.
You can't speak direct.
You must get a lawyer, whether you like it or not. So Bester said that his new legal team would be available in the next 7 days. An advocate Lerato and the instructing attorney would be Attorney Dinana. So Mr. Bester raised his hand again. He then brought further complaints before the court, saying that he had been unable to access any legal documentation of his case and that he had been isolated. The judge asked which documentation was he talking about, and Bester said Correctional Services Act 111 of 1998, which he is in charge, or he's been charged under. And he has requested it from the National Commissioner, and he's refusing. he is told that he cannot access that document, and that document is the one that he is being charged on. He said that he doesn't know why he's unable to access that document. He said that it took him 4 months to be able to access the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. He said that there are fundamental issues that are pertaining to him as an accused, that he believes that any legal representation that will be representing him will have the very same issues, and it will end up where he has to withdraw again. This is the third withdrawal of his legal attorney.
Yes. I think this is a strategy to actually have those documents given to him, so that he can access them and I think plan in advance whatever that he wants to plan. In fact, the fact that he was allowed to speak was mainly for that, if you ask me. No, we're not saying that in Mzansi you cannot represent it. You can, but it seems as if it comes as if the judges are enforcing you using the lawyers. You are allowed, in fact, if you are capable. But
it's heavily discouraged in this country.
Yes.
It's discouraged. In fact, some people were even treating it.
It doesn't even sound like you even have that right.
You have the option.
Yes, it seems as if it's enforcing. It's either legal aid or
you get your
own lawyer.
And he feels that all of them will have the same challenges, these lawyers that he's going to keep hiring. The challenges are that he's not able to access documents they want to give him. And he said that the National Commissioner has placed him under him directly, meaning that there is nothing that he can be processed or given to him without his direct approval. Isn't that interesting?
It is.
And whatever documents that his legal team might present, it has to be given to the National Commissioner. Isn't that interesting?
It is.
Bester said that he feels that this is unfair. Legal representation are withdrawing from him or from his case based on how they are treated when they are coming to consult with him.
You are treated as if you are representing this guilty person. Who's an enemy of the state. That's the feeling I get, and it must be difficult. It must be difficult being a lawyer. At some point, you have to represent people that are not friends or even, let me say, enemies of certain big people. So, in that regard, how do you go on and proceed and do your work without fearing for your life? I mean, you look at the situation of Mngomezulu, for example. It's one hell of an example that you can look at what he has said in court. If there's anything that you can read from that, is that depending on who you actually pissed off and how big they are, there's a possibility that you might actually be isolated and be alone, who needs to do everything by themselves. So you need at some point brave lawyers, but being brave sometimes can cost you your life.
Yeah, it's costly sometimes. Well, Bester had a problem with the judge telling him to appoint legal representation to come and share his grievances of how he is treated. He said that he felt that it is unfair since he's the one who is treated in that manner. He is the one experiencing that. He said that the National Commissioner has taken the obligation of being in charge of him as an inmate, meaning that all his responsibilities or any activities that involve Thabo Bester have a Thabo Bester Act, according to Correctional Services. He said that's the way he feels he's been treated. He said it might not be correct.
He's not the first one to complain about the personalized act. Even the former president complained about it. The Zuma Act or the Zuma Law.
Well, now I see why he was able to scam so many people, Mr. Anonymous. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm feeling for him. I cannot believe that I am falling, my empath self. I am falling into this trap of feeling for him. I don't understand why I'm feeling sorry for someone who has so much money, or someone who's done so many of these horrible things. But I now get it why he was able to scam people. Looking at him, you'd never doubt that you're talking to a professional person. He's very well spoken, and which makes him even more dangerous, in my opinion. I feel like he's the type of person that will convince you to do anything. He has a smooth tongue. That's my opinion. So Bester said that he's been segregated from everyone for the past 15 months, and he has not had access or contact with any human except the EST, emergency support team, that sits outside his door. That's the only people that he sees. He said, for my mental health, and other issues, I feel it is unfair and does not present me with the best ability to be in this court. Are mental health, Mr. Anonymous? Mental health.
Yeah, isolation does have that effect. He was hammering on the part of isolation, which is what you use to actually apply, to get your way out of it. It does make sense.
And then here where comes the fireworks. He said, I also believe that the so-called political swing behind this weight of trying to deprive me of any right to be able to have a fair defense in this matter is crucial. Your Honor, I shun away at the fact that in the docket, there is a statement that is being produced by the investigating officer who apparently ended his life. That says that I have said that the former president is the one that orchestrated this escape. I was like, my jaw was on the ground. And if you read the indictment, it has the former Presidential Protection Unit as a witness, and also the matter of the case that I've opened. The investigating officer in that matter is also a witness in this case. So meaning that I'm sitting in a situation where I, as a person, feel that I have no system or place where I can bring my grievances except for this court and myself.
Repeat that part. He's saying the former president. What?
He's saying that Mkhawulesi has a statement that says that he is saying that the former president is the one that assisted him to escape.
Does it sound like he's not saying that or saying that?
It's a wishy-washy. But he's not saying it, but he's also saying it at the same time. So it's like he's trying to say that somebody lied on him to say that he's the one who said that the president is the one who helped him to escape.
I understand.
You understand what he's saying?
Yes.
And also, one of the protection unit of the former president is a witness. He's saying in the case.
One of the protection unit currently.
Of the former
president. Yes, currently. Still a protection unit.
I don't know whether currently they still are. But he's saying they used to be protection unit for the former president. They are a witness now.
Do you remember the tweets that were going around of a picture that was manufactured?
I remember that
of a
picture.
President with Bester, and we talked about it, that it seems as if there is a bit of targeting that could be happening. There were signs that it shows that there is a sort of theory that needed to be created. It is funny now that Bester brings it up.
And he brings it up at such a crucial time.
Yes.
Because now we can see what is happening in the political space.
Yes.
And he brings up the former president. And I don't mean to really pick sides or anything. But to me, it seems like because the former president is so over-friendly and overzealous and has never really done any harshness or dealt with people that throw accusations of him in the past.
He always, in fact, welcome criticism.
It seems like he's the easy person to implicate in
in a lot
everything.
of things. Yes, yes, it seems.
In
like
my
that.
opinion, I know a lot of people would feel otherwise
Oh, it
because they
seems
don't
like
like
that.
him.
It seems like that.
But there's no president, in my opinion, who's been disrespected
But
like that
previous,
one.
yes, there were even pictures and all these things, but he was still fine with it. The picture, we talked about this picture that was going around and trending on Twitter and doing all rounds.
Yes,
and now
I
all of a
remember
sudden,
that picture.
all of a sudden there's a statement that is, which I don't believe there was a statement like that. If you ask me, I don't
don't
believe
think so?
that man that is supposedly the man that took his own life after asking for protection from
Don't
certain
really
people
ask for
that have powers right now. And then all of a sudden, this man is the very same man that can write things like, I don't believe. It seems like he was a genuine man who was doing his research properly and doing the right things. Now that is gone, it's going to be the issue of who's this guy who's gone in Senzo Mewa's case?
Brigadier Ndlovu.
No, the other one also, who everything that was done during the times of arrest are shifted to him because may his soul rest in peace. Who?
It was Brigadier Ndlovu.
The one that the people that were arresting were going with, and he was doing things allegedly to the accused, as the accused are accusing him with Mabena.
Oh, Mabena.
Was it Mabena?
Yes.
Yes, Mabena.
It's Mabena. The one
Yes.
with Mohani was with
yeah.
Mohani.
So now, all of a sudden, we're going to be hearing new stories that were done by the person who's normal. And they will find a way of dragging those so-called statements to make their case. I'm just thinking out loud.
Already
it seems
they've
as if,
started crafting
yes,
the case.
it seems as if it's going like that. And we just talked about why, in fact, the lawyer was there just to say, I'm leaving, but still allow Bester to finish to talk, and the magistrate allow Bester to talk. There's a reason behind that.
And it's a different magistrate to the previous one
Yes,
that I was talking
yes,
about.
yes.
Remember that one? So this one was a new face.
There's a reason behind that.
So how many magistrates are going to do that with this case? Like, we're gonna see a different judge all the time, or what is going to happen? That's the part I don't understand.
There is no way, if you read it like Bester was sending a message to the people that is in cahoots with. Let's say that theory was correct. Let's say the
that
theory
could also be.
Let's say the theory was correct. But I can tell you now, if those people are in power, we wouldn't have talked, even opened his mouth in that court. Because in my own opinion, I feel like these people exist, and they exist in higher position. You know, he wasn't even going to be allowed to speak.
Mina, I have questions about why he was allowed
What he was
to
speaking, it was written down.
And it was written down.
Yes.
And I have to ask myself, why was he given a platform? It seems like maybe we were being distracted from something.
Exactly. But a lot of things were thrown there. Bringing the statement of a brigadier who had already passed on.
It was Mkaule. I think he was a sergeant or something.
He was a sergeant, yes. That is not something that you can take lightly. He's the one who's introducing it. For the case now, someone is going to have to come and bring that statement somewhere, somehow. I don't know how. And the court will have to decide whether they accept or do not accept that evidence. But all I'm thinking is that it's not a message that is being sent here. In my own opinion, there's a bit of distortion that is happening and swinging of certain things into a certain direction. That is what I'm seeing.
Continuing with his rant, he said that I have no system or place where I can bring my grievances except for this court. And myself, because if I have to bring it before the prison, there is no avail to assist me. He further said that the National Commissioner said that he will address him, and that was 2 months when he got back into the country. So 2 months after, wasn't it that time when the media was outside and he was like torture and stuff? And then the commissioner was like, we're going to address it. We asked Mr. Bester to put down everything in paper. So since then, he's never bothered himself.
Because you know why I'm worried about bringing certain names. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
The name that he brought is not friendly with banks. He's not a friend of banks. But there is no way someone who's affiliated or who has any affiliation with that person would have an account of such amount of money and we would not know.
It would have been big news, I tell you. It would have been splashed in the papers.
Because that money
would have been all over.
Yes, can be even associated with the state capture. We would be hearing word state capture again.
Hey, we would have known about it. Bona, it was not going to be this secret hush-hush, whatever is going on with Bester situation. The banks have made sure that man feels it. At some point, they even closed accounts.
Yes.
If your name is affiliated with that person.
I mean, look at what is happening with Bob Bryan. People who were appointed. They were appointed. Their name has been dragged into mud. Next thing, there are no cases, and the media is quiet.
Guys, for those who may not know, Brian Molefe's charges have been dropped by Corruption Watch. State capture started because of Brian Molefe.
And the rest of
them. When Matela Kuku, we've known he made the announcement that the NPA dropped the charges. What is going on?
So it's like okay, we will put you on the mat, you get dirty. We'll find a way of having a narrative on around people so that they believe a certain direction. Now, when we have to clean you because we are the one who put you in all this thing.
It's like nothing's
happening. We just keep quiet.
I've been waiting for an interview, something.
Nothing.
Anything. Just so his reputation is restored from being dragged in the mud.
This is a man who fought with load shedding. And now it begs a question of whatever that he said on that state capture. Now that he's exonerated, is what he said on that state capture true? Now that's a question. Was it ever followed? No. Because he was dropping names.
No, it was never followed up.
So, now, if two people who are core of the so-called state capture have been exonerated, was there ever a state capture?
Or was it a bunch of gossip?
That the media perpetrated, in my own opinion. Because the media, whoever owns the media owns the minds of the people.
This is where we are. Well, he said that till this date he has not spoken to the commissioner. He has only heard reports. He also complained about being cuffed during court appearances, calling it inhumane. He also said that he's not being treated fairly by the media and everyone else. He said that charge he is facing involves the actual office that he is under, Correctional Services. He said that he's being treated like this because he's being threatened and not supposed to defend himself. He said that the charges involve so many high-profile people that both the Minister and National Commissioner of Correctional Services have deprived him from every single privilege that exists.
Question is why?
He said he's under Section 29 of the times of pre-1994.
Yes, guys, let's remind you to like. I know it's nice to listen to us speaking here. Let us just like the video, and so that we can be suggested to other people, and that's what we are asking you for now.
Yeah,
that's a simple like. That press that like button so that we go with the numbers that we see. We're at 410, and we appreciate you for being here around this time, and it's Sunday. But please press the like button. Please comment as much as you can. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Become a member if you're not a member, and if it's possible, can support us however you can. We really appreciate you, and we would appreciate that because we are going through a lot also on this side.
Yes, guys, but we push, we soldier on. He said that he is treated with 2 hours of family visits for 30 minutes.
Which family visits him?
I'm trying to think.
Because from
his
what
mom said she doesn't want to go see him in there.
Yeah.
Maybe
the father is unknown.
Maybe his siblings.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm just saying maybe. So he said he's given 1 consultation or 2 if he's lucky. In that process, he's kept in a hole by himself with no one outside. You know, when he was saying this, Nandipa's face throughout the entire time finished me, guys.
Like a baby who's about to cry because you deny them the cake.
The faces were so strong. It's like she was feeling him. Whatever he is saying, she's feeling it from the depths of her soul. It's like she's feeling the pain that he's describing. She's feeling it. You know, it's like the love is so real.
But I'm so confused because last time we left, it was more like Bester is this bad person now. All of a sudden, if you ask me, that's what we saw. That's
the body language expert was agreeing that Nandipa is under threat.
Yeah.
Nandipa is feeling threatened.
Because there was no greeting. There was, I'm surprised by their face now. The
passion in her face. I'm like, your girl is gone. She's a gone girl.
This guy keeps on coming back in and out on her mind.
She's gone.
It's like a person who's
She's been gone. She's a gone girl. She's gone. She's in love. Well, they said that they have moved the EST people that were guardian outside his door. And he said that the way he's dressed, I'm like, Bester, you're dressed fine. You're dressed, in fact, this is the best dressed outfit ever since you appeared in this court. He says, no, the way I'm dressed is an issue. I'm like, Habe, I am being forced to dress as such. I'm like, what is wrong with how you're dressed? And he said, I'm not dressed. These clothes were bought for a purpose to come to court. And I'm like, yes, you bought well. They look presentable. And he said, I had to send money to look like this. And I'm like,
you still got money.
You still have money to send. Wow. We are outside. We don't have money to be buying outfits.
Nope.
You are inside, you have money to go spend to buy a special court appearance. Wow. And he said, I have clothes in my bags that have whatever branding. I'm like, not whatever branding, guy. You just showed up with LV that cost 20K. Whatever brand. Where are we?
Once you wear a Nike brand that is expensive and all that.
Where are we? what is this? And he said, I'm not allowed to wear clothes that cost a certain amount. I was told by the court that I can't wear clothes that are Louis Vuitton or whatever. I'm like, Habe, because it gives the wrong impression. It does, Bester. It does give the wrong impression when you're wearing a top that costs 20,000 rands. It gives a wrong impression.
That is someone's sarad, for heaven's sake, for a man.
Why are you holding on to these clothes for dear life like this? I don't understand. Why are you holding on to them like you're still going to go outside and wear them again?
You know,
anytime soon.
One thing about this case, it can create the best series ever. This case and Senzo.
And never ending. I think a good 6 seasons might come out of this.
You've got content.
So he says, now I'm being forced to follow laws based on impression. He also wants the copy of the docket. He said that he feels that the NPA should give the docket directly. He said that he might as well defend himself as a layman in court and hope and pray that whatever he represents is good. He said that he also asked from the head of prison for consultations with experts. He wants a PI, a private investigator, and a forensic expert to verify if those facts in the docket are true.
Why not if you've got a whole bank?
Because it differs from the version of the state. In order for him to prove that he says that he needs to be allowed consultations in the prison, he says that he has 2 months left of the time he's serving. I'm like, Haibe, 2 months left since when?
I don't know.
He's serving at a CMAX, but he knows that he will not be treated fairly and released because there is a time period that you serve in a prison like that. There is no human rights in that prison. Jakes wrote a report by Judge Cameron that they submitted in Parliament and gave the portfolio committee that correctional services, CMAX and Kokstad are unconstitutional. They are violating every single right of his. He said that he doesn't speak for himself. If he doesn't speak for himself, then who will? Because he is going to come here and get a reminder after a reminder, and that is going to be as if he wants to delay this matter. He said that he's nearly done with his sentence and wants to finish with this matter. So what Thabo Bester here is telling us is that he was due to release sometime this year. And he blew it. Why couldn't he wait if he was due to release?
No, because he was let out. That's what he's saying. He's saying, didn't escape. I was walked out.
Couldn't he have waited a little bit longer?
No, but what if the people who are in powers are saying, hey, man, you're free now. You can go. That's why he was going to shops.
That's why he was free at
Yes.
Woolworths.
Yeah, who would escape and then go to Woolworth where there are cameras?
Yes, I'm so confused. I'm like, you were going to be released in 2 months' time.
Maybe they just told him, yeah, you are free now. The whole thing that happened in the cell, it happened because he did not know. Maybe there was no connection with the people that is arrested with. Maybe they did it for someone else.
Allegedly.
And then Baxter was told, Emona, you're free. Walk out.
You can go now.
Yeah.
We're talking about a person who organized the whole conference with celebrities, performances, everything, the works, while he was inside the cell.
Yes.
At Santen. So on the issue of equality, he said that he is not equally treated as any other accused in this country. He said the media has tarnished and destroyed him on no facts. No evidence has been brought on any side. It's already confirmed that he escaped, but no one knows the true facts. Why don't you tell us, Bester, the true facts? I mean, how are we gonna know if you do not tell us, And he said that he is self-convicted. He pleaded guilty to the most crucial or most dangerous unit, which is called the Katomana Killer Squad. He said it forced him to plead guilty, and the matter has been pending for 13 years in the courts. Transcripts have been missing for 13 years. And it goes around in South Africa as a proven fact, beyond reasonable doubt, that he, Thabo Bester, is a murderer, and he forces himself on women.
So that case has not been finalized.
It was finalized. He got a conviction, but what he's crying about are the transcripts. And he said maybe he appealed after he was sentenced. I think the pending matter is the appeal that he's talking about. Or maybe he was trying to follow it through and resuscitate the case and prove his innocence. If there is any innocence. But now
one thing for sure is that most intelligent South Africans, they did not go to school. They didn't finish even high school or primary school.
He didn't finish school. Or Bester.
That we have established, that you don't need school to be smart.
But you need it for a decent living and a job.
That's all I'm saying.
You need it for a job and for survival.
Look at how much Baxter has in his pocket. Money that would probably die without having.
No, unfortunately. But yeah, this is very interesting. This mentioning of the Kato manner.
Very interesting.
And even if we were to say, no, he did his research, it's quite clear that at C-Max in Pretoria, I don't think he even has access to a cell phone or a smartphone. Do you think he does?
He probably is fighting to get a cell phone. He does have access. They said he does.
Like be on the internet and then
He
research
calls
the
the lawyer.
Kato.
He said he calls the lawyer. Right? Just that he doesn't divulge more. Remember? Yeah. So...
But what he's saying here is that the Katomena killer squad is the one that forced him to plead guilty to the crime of that young lady. Because she was found stabbed in the chest. And when I read, I remember now when I did the research and I was reading up on the story, she was tied on a chair, allegedly, when they found her in that state, and Bester was not in the room, but the Bester is the one that booked her in that room. They booked together. But when they found her, she was tied in a chair and she was stabbed.
She was in a different room from Baxter's room.
No, Baxter was not there. They booked the same room, but Bester was not there. They had concluded that he ran away after he committed that crime. And that is where he ran. He actually ran and went back to Joburg, and that is where he met up with Peltusi.
From my understanding, I think what Baxter was, in my assumption, he was a pimp.
In your opinion?
In my opinion. He was a pimp, so you would organize these girls. Certain people, obviously they must have money, they must have power. You know, those people, they must not be seen recruiting. In my opinion, that is where I would put it. This is where I will end it.
Because I was like, why did he run?
And we know those people who have money, they like certain things that are very heinous. You know, they like inflicting pain to people. So this could have been the one that went wrong, in my opinion. And it's alleged.
Because if your theory was anything to go by, it would explain all this money that now, after Dr. Nandipa comes back into his picture and starts being a messenger, they have his voice outside. Look at the transformation now that has happened, where this huge amount of money that he's getting access to while he's sitting in a prison. And you can see that Dr. Nandipa was somehow an errant girl. She was being sent to the right people to talk to the right people to say, if this doesn't happen, this and this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
It's your
it would
opinion.
make sense why
And
he
who
stumbled
else-
upon so
who
much.
else to get actually than someone who's learned, someone who got a bit of trust in the society, and that is a doctor, to actually have her being that errand girl who runs around and pass the messages to
Because
the
you
right
can
people.
see he's very much holding on to that case, and he's saying, and he's alluding to the fact that I did not or may have not done that crime. I was forced to confess, and a couple of years goes by, he's locked inside. Perhaps they were like, okay, we are done with this person. They took the crime, and then he knocks on a couple of years later to remind them that actually I took the fall for you
And I need money.
and I want money.
And this is how much I need. And plus, promise me that you'll release me. That's why in his mind he's convinced that he was gonna be released. This is just theories that we are creating.
We are
here.
creating the theory. We're not saying that that is
As
what
we are here.
happened. But from what he is saying here, he's alluding to this, in our opinion, as
Yeah,
a
that's what he's
Zanzibarite.
alluding to. Yes, it's like what is left is that I took a fall for someone. That is what is left through his mouth. That's basically, it sounds like he's saying that.
Well, he said that he has been out for a year. He mentioned Leonard Chauke. Leonard Chauke is the most notorious gangster that ever existed in this country.
Still alive.
No, he passed
you.
away. he was a very dangerous man. But yes, he mentioned him, saying that unlike Chauke, he is not the worst inmate in this country. He said that he has 3 counts, but is the most popular inmate in this country for no reason, because of the political harnage and because of the political issues that he has in his personal capacity that has nothing to do with the proceedings. He keeps saying political. He also said that he felt it is unfair for the people sitting with him in court to be his co-accused, when he knows very well that they have nothing to do with this. When he knows that they were not present in any of these issues that are in the indictment. He said that there are people that are being protected by the investigating team, and they are very clearly known. Now, Thabo Bester is working here on our curiosity, because when you come to think of it, you are trying to tell us that all these people that are with him are the ones that had the power to let him walk out of that prison. We kept calling for more arrests. They never happened.
No, they never.
They arrested the guards. Only the guards. The guards had that much power to let that person just walk out.
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
He said that he has more than enough evidence to prove that these things are much more than average people that are working at G4S that just decided to one day release him. It's highly impossible for them to do that without political power or high office involved in this issue. He said that he has been out in South Africa living his life for a year, and he has not violated any human. Even in the legal fraternity, it is very difficult for him to appoint an attorney. He said an attorney will cancel on him because they do not want to be associated with Thabo Bester, because the media will attack him. He said that he has had 5 attorneys tell him that they would like to represent him, but in the background, the media will destroy him and the state will never get any work. Which reminds me to the initial council, what had happened. They had cases. They vanished. They said no.
Wait. I mean, what? Remind me. You are saying he booked with this lady where?
At Durban, at a hotel.
Durban, at the hotel.
At a hotel.
Okay.
And then we don't know what happened in the night.
And
There's
then,
no
and
clear.
then he was found where?
He was found in Joburg the
At
following
night.
day.
the following day.
The Peltusi gave her a lift. That's where the story of Peltusi comes in,
And
where
the
she's
knife-
like she met
And
the
the
person
knife
in,
that he
and the knife
allegedly used was found in
Peltusi's
Peltus's car.
And
After
Peltusi
he
is the one
left
who
him.
snitched on him
After he left him there.
after he left the lady.
So ayahambanga kahle bafethu.
After he left
So-
the
so
lady
think
in the
about it,
hotel
man.
by
Think
herself,
about it.
deceased.
Think about it. You take someone's life in Durban, come with that weapon in Joburg, and you happen to leave that weapon in some celebrity's car,
And you know this person is a celebrity.
and you know that this person is a celebrity, and you don't do anything with a celebrity. Okay, I see you again.
It's a weird story, right?
You wish, right?
I remember when we talked about Paul's version of events. It was just so messed up. I became so confused.
Yeah, let's like the video, guys. Continue.
He then said that he is a broken man. It tears him apart to see this co-accused, knowing very well that they are suffering for something they know nothing about. Okay, this one, I'm not also so quick to agree with Bester here. I mean, it's not like Nandi Power is not organizing funerals and stuff, you know, and a father transporting the baki that was used to transport the body, you know, and we cannot get over the fact that, you know, Zamo, their worker there was assisting Nandipa going around looking for dead bodies in mortuaries. We still don't know how Katlego Bereng died.
That's why I have a problem.
The theory that he just fell in town and conveniently, while his corpse is still fresh, it ends up getting torched in Thabo Bester's cell.
Yeah.
No.
But then, again, powerful people must be involved for a body to come in such a That's my opinion. Allegedly.
Well, he asked that the unaliving sentence, I'm afraid to speak it in full because I don't know how YouTube will react. The last time we talked about this, it did the things. Be re-established via a public petition, and then he be sentenced to meet his maker. I don't know why he's doing this to us.
Lola.
He said so that he can be put to rest.
I know.
But
I wanna just entertain Lola for a moment. She's saying,
Okay.
if he was released, when he heard that the police were looking for him, why did he run?
But the police were not looking for him, Lola. That's the tricky part. That's the part that you are missing from this whole conundrum, Lola. The police were not looking for him. It was like nothing was happening. Ground up, a blog, a media, independent media house is the one that put it out there that there's a person who's supposed to be in jail is walking around the streets of Sandton.
And that's when the police started looking.
That's the interesting part that you are not getting, Lola. The police were not looking.
No, they were not.
As far as the police were concerned, he was a deceased man.
Yes.
So they couldn't believe that he was still alive. They didn't want to entertain, fathom the idea that he's still alive. Do you understand?
Now I'm sure she does understand.
Okay. Yes, that's an interesting part about this whole thing. So, I'm not going to be signing no petition, Bester, until you tell us who those political influences are, until you tell us everything. From the incident that you got a conviction for, what had happened. Okay? We are suffering too much because of this corruption that is happening. You need to tell us. Finish and clear. I ain't no petition I'm signing. You must live to tell your story. in my opinion.
That is true. So the issue of running from, what I want to bring to you is that, let's say I'm the person you are protecting and I'm big. What I do is I tell you, okay, this is now what is happening. That story is no longer flying. This so-called independent media has decided otherwise. So please try to move out of the country. That's where, in my opinion, and we did say it, I started thinking this is more political than any other thing. I think the interception that happened in Tanzania, it has more to do with politics than anything. Remember, there are people in South Africa who are left in Tanzania, were from South Africa, who decided to stay in those countries.
They went into exile.
Yeah.
And decided to stay.
So,
there are some people who decided to stay and didn't come back in 1990.
So this was a good time to actually bury the story by saying he ran away. But maybe certain people did not like the political dynamics of South Africa. Then they intercepted and said, no, we're taking this person back.
Because he was caught by Interpol. Remember.
But if you think about it, it could have been easy for him to actually get out of the country.
It was. It looked like a done deal. For him to have reached Tanzania.
Yeah, it's like we give you a head start. Okay, start, then we start looking for you.
And the fact that he had even booked a hotel in Tanzania. He had slept there with Nandipa in a hotel. You can tell that they had more time. You understand? You can tell that they were...
And their running seemed, in my opinion, assured. You know, because you don't have time to book and
book hotels while you're on the run.
When you're on the run.
Yeah. Well, he said that he came to court with 80 cars. He woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning. He has been changed. His feet are rice. And he said he could barely feel his toes. If he is a diabetic, that is a serious problem. It is gonna be a serious problem. But anyway, let's move on. He said that he's at peace and he knows what he has done. He said that what he knows is that none of these things would exist if there was no background of political watchdogs that control the situation. That's it. The judge told him to lodge a complaint with the Judicial Inspectorate for Correctional Services to investigate the conditions of his prison.
My man, you are missing the point. The one that you are talking about, I will answer you in regular, because the one that you are talking about is the most hated guy. If he had anything to do with this, I'm telling you, you would know. You would not miss it. You would not. You would not miss it. You would not miss it.
Oh, he would be.
And that would be a chance to put him in jail in any case.
Yes.
So, I'm fine. Yes, he's sending a message, but not to the one that you might be thinking about.
That one is easy because Nyambona nani. He doesn't fight back.
And we're talking about, I just don't want to labor this a lot, but we're talking about someone who's very intelligent too. If there were things that he was doing, I don't think he would put them in this situation. Remember, this guy was arrested during his time, right?
Yes. He went to Robben Island.
Do you think, no, I mean, Bester.
Oh, Bester.
Do you think he would leave that?
Oh, yes,
like
he was
that?
arrested during his president.
If it was him, do you think you'd just leave the guy and leave it open like that? This is a guy that has many cases and it's difficult to actually even pin one to him. And you think he would be that reckless? But nje, think about that. Yeah, let's give you a chance to call if
If you'd like to say anything.
Should we give them a chance to call?
And I found it very interesting that Thabo Bester is mentioning Judge Cameron. And I'm like, Aibo, I bet Judge Cameron is the reason why you are back in the situation. Allegedly. Judge Cameron investigated your escape or your so-called being let out without the police, without getting assistance from anyone. The police were not helping. The prison officials were not helping. He got a letter and he decided, you know what, I'm following this through. And now we are here.
Right. Remember, no names.
No name dropping, please.
No name dropping. Don't come with a theory that we don't know. Public stuff only.
Only public stuff, guys. Akubatuseka.
Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, good evening, Emily. Good evening, Mr. Anonymous.
Good evening.
Evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. And how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
No, I wanted to say, no, Mandisa is a doctor. She's a qualified doctor on BCH from Veiws. She's been practicing in the profession. She's quite intelligent.
Yes.
And but now I see how Bester was able to convince her and verify her.
Yeah.
The guy is good. The guy is good. He's very good. That day he was wearing 3 caps. He was a victim. He was a lawyer. And then at some point he was a judge,
yes,
saying, and release these guys, they're free, etc. So, and he was able to really, explain properly, because he's well spoken. He's well spoken. I've seen an interview of him, where he was being interviewed about that incident in the hotel room with that girl. So yeah, he was saying, no, he didn't murder her. So he's saying he killed her, but he didn't murder her. So he was saying that they were fighting over the knife, and then she somehow got stabbed, and then he panicked and he ran away because he was not going to go to the police and say, look, I just stabbed someone, because they're not going to believe him, etc., etc. So he admitted that he did. He caused the death by stabbing her, but he did not intend to murder her. So that interview is there.
Yes.
But you could tell the way he was speaking that the guy is well spoken, is able to convince, especially now I see how he was able, because you even saw how Mandy was in her feelings when he was speaking. So for me, I don't want to believe anything he said, because it's at this point it's just him who has spoken. Remember, in court you can stand up and say whatever you want, but until you are tested or you're cross-examined, then it's like, for example, Mangena on the Senzo case. Mangena has testified about the gun, but that evidence right now doesn't mean anything because it has not been tested.
Yes.
So a lawyer can use it in court because it's not yet tested. So until it is tested, then it can become part of the evidence. So what he said there, and that's why the judge said, bring an application and say all these things in proper proceedings so that the state can cross-examine if they want, or they can also make submissions. Then the judge can have a full picture, because right now it's just one-sided. And so for me, that's why I'm a bit skeptical in terms of just believing what he says, because he only gave one side. The state didn't speak. So if he brings the application properly, then at least we can have both sides and we can hear and compare and see what exactly is he saying. So, but in terms of just what he was talking about there, I think, he's very, very, very good. Remember, the guy is a con artist. He's someone who was running a company while he was in jail. He was pretending to be in New York. They were having a conference for him. People, established business people and entrepreneurs went to that conference, and he was there. They were celebrating his birthday while he was in prison. So, as much as people were involved, of course, he didn't do it alone. He's right that high-profile people were involved. However, you can't just say that. So you must say the name, see how it happened. That's why in a proper application, then you have to reveal all those things. But if you just stand up and say, no, the high-profile people, then, you're just confusing people. But in a proper proceeding, then you have to disclose and say who and who and who and provide. Then it's now proper information that we can listen to. So, yeah, so I just want to be careful in terms of just believing what he says at this point because, he is a con artist. That's what he does.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Smooth talker.
I mean, people were feeling sorry for him. People were like, maybe, just maybe, just maybe. Oh, he's so hot. Oh my God, I can see why Makudumana fell in that trap. He is a good scam artist. I give it to him, he's good.
You need everything to work for you.
Well articulated.
Your looks.
Can dress for the occasion. Can speak to convince. It's like selling a product that you don't want to buy.
Yeah.
Because I found myself feeling sorry for him. I don't want to lie. I was like, when he said, my feet are rice. And I'm like, shit.
Right, guys.
No, he's a good con artist. I don't want to lie.
Zanzi, hello. Zanzi, hello.
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Oh, good, sir. Can you just find a spot where we can hear you?
You can hear me?
Yeah.
You see what he was proving to South Africans what I always do. The reason our country is a mess like this, we are also contributing to that because we have favorite leaders whom when they speak we listen. And then we have those who are not so favorite to us. When they speak, we don't listen, even if they are stating facts. You see what Dexter was alluding on that day in terms of political power and influencing all that mess that happened there. I don't feel sorry for the guys, but I believe what he was saying. What I'm going to say is public, and the guy is not ashamed of that. He's always open. Say it's my part. If you remember, a few days after Dexter was arrested, 18 Mackenzie, he had an interview with one of those news channels. He said, there is no way. I know prison. Even the PA always call me F-con. I know prison, how it works. There is no way this guy can pull this without political assistance. Now the state must investigate who assisted this. Not this guy. You said those guys, all these guys from GFS are small fishes, are low-lying fruits. There is a top guy in this thing who needs to be investigated. If this thing is investigated top out, you will see these G4S guys as small fishes. That's what 18 McCain said. After 2 days when those guys were arrested from Tanzania back to South Africa, he said there is a lot into this guys. Not just about these G4S guys. Ask 18 McCain. No one listens because he's not so favorite to most South Africa. That's the problem. The guys who are so favorite to us, they are the ones who are messing our planet. Imagine there is a podcast. Also, I mentioned because I know sometimes we freely use this information. The guy alluded the prison official sometimes take out interviews from prison to talk to someone. He always highlighted the duty of political interference in prison. And also, President McCain alluded to that fact, and Dexter was confirming what was said by President McCain. For me, Dexter didn't surprise me. the guy was just confirming what was said by dating McKenzie. There is a lot into that precisely. And I believe the guy, I'm not saying he's not innocent. There is no way the guy can pull such. He said that was not escape. Underline. That was not escape. I was let go. That's why we have to underline. The bold alphabet and underline. I did not escape. I was let go. Even those GFS guys, they have such power. No, they are contractors. They have to protect the reputation of the company. Because if the company is not doing so well, they can lose the contract at any given time.
Yeah.
We have a security have to protect the reputation of the company.
Yeah.
Because GFS is a security company. Anything that GFS supervisor can just sacrifice the reputation of a company like that without the political interference. The supervisors, area managers, they know they have to protect their contract. Otherwise, if they mess up, they're going to lose their peg also. And the company can. There is a lot in what Bester said. And what Bester was saying, that he was confirming what Kevin McKenzie said from day one. Thanks a lot, guys. It's been long without see you Tuesday, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I also remember that Gaten McKenzie interview. He did say it that there's a lot of big fish that allowed for him to walk out like that. The guards are mere small fishes. I remember that interview.
Right. Please like the video. Like the videos. Push the video to 300, 400, if not 5. Please like the video. Mind you to like the video as you call if you can. And if you don't, we obviously have a lot to do in terms of work. We are behind.
Yeah.
So we would actually take the chance, if you don't call, to continue doing what we do. So let's push the likes. Emily, anything?
No, nothing.
Nothing. Let's push the likes while I call the names here. Amanda Bali was here. Let me answer this. Try to be short, guys. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Hello, Mr. Anonymous. Hello, Emily.
Hi.
Already, I agree with everything. You couldn't have pulled the whole escaping, even just passing the borders with like fake passports, going into other countries. But I don't want to touch on that right now. I realized after Bester pulled his stunt in court, everyone has been like, oh, Bester is actually like he became this victim. It's like in a minute.
Exactly.
So I just want us to at least move back a little bit and let's remind ourselves who we are dealing with. He's such a con artist who could do all of that to celebrities, and I feel like how you were saying that, a caller was saying that Nandipa is actually very smart, which is true. So if he could actually manipulate Nandipa to end up playing along and doing everything else, he can easily do that to us as South Africans. And him saying that we must sign a petition so he can just be unalived and all of that, he's basically playing into our emotions.
Yes.
So I feel like the way he's such a manipulator, a con artist, he's learned human behavior. So now he's trying to play into that. And it's almost like we're forgetting what happened.
Exactly.
So even though he was helped and stuff, Bester is still the center. He participated in whatever this is. So even though he talks very, he's like well-spoken, I just wanted to remind everyone that Bester is actually working on our mind.
Yes.
So we mustn't just be like, you could be a good lawyer. We must still stick to the facts because the emotional manipulation I'm seeing here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for reminding us.
I wanted to ask you something before you leave.
Okay.
What do you make of the investigator that allegedly took his life was investigating this case of an escape and everything else.
Yeah, that's why I said, Mr. Nimis, in the beginning, that the whole I'm kind of like removing the whole escaping, and because I really do feel like there are similarities with the Senzo Meyiwa case. So there's been like there's a lot of political influence, people passing on, and so I do that part. I 100% agree that if he was investigating the case, probably remember with the 375 and the other document, the other docket.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's the same thing where if someone was investigating, let's say they were coming into the truth and finding out who in this high position is actually involved in all of this, then that person, they could just easily eliminate him. Remember, there's higher powers. So my one was I really, like I said, I've drawn a lot of similarities from all these cases that we always discussed. But mine was the one of, okay, fine, it happened and we understand there's people who made this possible. But let's not forget that Bester is actually a master at manipulating people. So I feel like he's now doing that to everyone as South Africans. Because even when he mentioned about the petition, even me for a minute, I was like, how? Like, but I'm like, no, he doesn't mean it. He doesn't even want a petition. He's just trying to play into our psyche and all. And as natural as human beings, like Sis Emily said, we are very empathetic, So we're obviously going to be like, oh, yeah. But then I realized this thing is a lot on social media where it's like all of us, we are feeling for Bester. He's charmed us. He made his way through our hearts and all of that. So I just wanted to say, Mzansi reality, Mzansi family, can we not just be distracted by this? Remember how when people were not understanding what we were talking about in terms of the Senzo Meyiwa case, because we are objective here. So I felt like that element was kind of like getting removed in this case, in this Bester case. I'm like saying, let's remain objective like we always do as Mzansi reality family.
Yeah, we are. We are.
I think
objective.
I've said a mouthful.
Yeah. Thank you. We are remaining objective. Yes.
And by the way, that section, whatever of him unaliving himself, but
it does not exist here.
Yes, it's
Mzansi,
no longer
hello.
there.
Even though he was
He was
Mzansi
playing
reality.
us.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good, and how are you? I'll just be quick because I know you have to go and rest.
Yes.
Okay, let's just go back. Thabo Bester fake his death on the 20. Okay, it's discovered on the 20 on May 2022.
Yes.
Now that falls under unnatural death. Now, what is the procedure of unnatural death with SAP or in South Africa? It gets investigated.
Yes.
It gets investigated, and the pathologist does a thorough forensic research.
Yeah.
We are checker in the lungs if there was oxygen before. I mean, there's a carbon monoxide, because if you die by a fire, there should be carbon monoxide in your lungs. If the body is put there after death, there's no carbon monoxide. Now, the point is, why was that investigation not done if there's nothing? Because people think we are defending Thabo Bester here. No, we are not defending Thabo Bester, but there are procedures that are supposed to be done.
Yes.
Why was that not done? Why did the pathology support that this is death by fire? It's a suicidal death.
He did not. He did
But
not actually.
on top of that, yeah, because they didn't do why would the pathology not do it? Now, the second issue is that with the investigation, okay, let's talk about arrest Thabo Bester. They realized that he doesn't have fingerprints.
Yes.
But they didn't create an ID for him on his arrest and investigate who is this person. Is he real South African? Has he committed other crimes? Nothing was done. To me, it seems as if allegedly this man was left to remain a ghost. Allegedly. Because he managed. I mean, there's no police. I mean, if a person dies in a prison mysteriously, the very same prison has to do investigation and then call the police. No one was arrested or questioned. How did the accelerant get into Thabo Bester's? No, what happened? It's like sugar was spilled and that was it. But I mean, somebody killed himself. Okay, let's assume in 2022 we thought he killed himself. Somebody killed himself, he burned himself, and there is no one who's been held accountable. How did this get in there? So to me, when I look at the whole thing, the fingerprints, no pathology. I mean, a pathologist didn't do a forensic test and see. I mean, autopsy, a thorough autopsy of what happened, and then there's no fingerprints and there's nobody who's dancing or getting arrested or being questioned. Why? Because I listened, I gave myself time when there was this thing, I forgot it in Parliament, whereby Judge Cameroon was deliberated what happened. The Justice Minister and Okele and other people were saying, I mean, I'm just calling the names because these were the people who were in Parliament and when there was an inquiry.
Yes.
You know, we never heard of any that. Okay, we had even the G4S or GS4, whatever the thing is. G4S. They were called. Yeah, they never said, hey, after the person committed suicide, we thought it was him, and then we did investigation, and what in so and so, and of course they were working on that shift, were suspended because we wanted to know how the accelerant gets there. It's like it's magic. So we are going to blame everything to Thabo Bester because he's a criminal. I mean, that's the problem I have with us. I don't know whether it's because we have more pressure in South Africa. We are trying to struggle to make things end. And then when we hear that, this person is a criminal, and then that's it. Hey, let him die. Hey, get this and get this. No, we don't say let him get out. We don't say everything he says is true. But why are we not looking at this? Because these things will happen to your people, will happen to people who are innocent, will happen to you. You will die, you will be arrested in prison for something you didn't do, or maybe for something you did. Maybe it's a GP or whatever you did, or you stole sugar, or you insulted someone, whatever you did, or you beat someone, and then you are told you've committed suicide. And the pathology is not going to check whether you committed suicide or you were killed inside. They will conclude that because it can happen. People think we are defending Thabo Bester. We are saying, hey, let's look at the procedures. Why are the procedures not done? Agi Babelap. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, I wanted to add that actually the autopsy said that the person had died by being struck on the head.
But was it made public then?
No, it was not.
Those are the questions. I mean, was there any inquiry of that? Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Hello, Mr. Anonymous and Sis Emily. How are you?
We are good, and yourself?
Good.
Hello.
Yes, good.
I just want to contribute anyway. I just got this this program like right in the middle because I just came back from work, but it's very interesting. It just caught my attention. Anyway, I just want to say we are just thinking critically as a whole, right? So Mina, the way I see it, there is more to this case than what meets the eye. And Thabo Bester, when he said whatever I said in court, he was just trying to highlight bigger things behind what's happening. There could have been some agreements before, but like maybe as time went on, they just fell out of favor, something happened here, something that we don't know. But like for me, I'm still convinced that like there are political figures involved. You know why? Because Bester is not the first person to escape from prison after doing so-called heinous crimes, and there are a lot of other people who do the unthinkable things in the crime world, right? The underworld gangs, you name it, we know them, right? But have you ever seen anyone that can get a whole private jet to be organized to go and collect him from wherever he is? Like that was just a special treatment for a special somebody. And according to me, it could have been an instruction that came from somewhere, like that a whole private jet. We know how things are back home in terms of service delivery and everything. There are a whole lot of things that need money. Why would money be pumped into a whole private jet to go and collect him? And, like we all know the people that the media wanted us to know who were part of the people who went to collect him, right?
Yeah.
But who are the other people who were there? We may never know them. And this private jet came in the middle of the night, just from Tanzania. Ask yourself why. I rest my case. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right. This is me about to shut down. Sizwe Mgaga, thank you. You always participate here.
Yes.
We don't know how to thank you. We appreciate you. Z, thank you. And Tantlaye too, thank you very much. We are also a regular. Tapiwa Shendelane, who's our member. Thank you. Tozis Langa, thank you. You are also our moderator and our moderator. Thank you very much. Elizabeth, you are always here. Giving, you are always here. And it's public opinion. We just speculate and try to open each other's eyes. And the third eye also. Most of the things. Dimagazzo Dlamini, thank you. Tuli Tools, thank you, our moderator. Deboho Molife, thank you. God's love, thank you.
It was done correctly, guys, the pathology.
Yes.
It was.
It just was not followed. Mami, thank you, in my opinion, allegedly. Lola, our member, thank you. Boitumelo Moja, thank you. Tiam Slick, thank you. Chuku Anna, thank you. We see you and we appreciate you. Christina, thank you for being here. And please like the video, guys. Continue liking the video. Amanda, thank you. Belta Ngwenya, thank you. Just like the video, guys. Zakel Esbia, thank you very much. Let's see who's left. Vivian, thank you. Regular also. We notice your name. We appreciate you for being here. And keep on pressing the like button. Taco.
Taco, sietsi.
Thank you very much. Elizabeth, I've mentioned you. And Nomtebo, Ramile, Dlangamandla. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Regular also here in this channel. And we see you. Tobega D, our moderator. Thank you. We are happy. We see you a lot in the comments now. Press the like button. Continue pressing that like button. David, thank you very much. Let's see who's left. Who's left here? Who hasn't been mentioned? BBM. Thank you very much. We see you. Tobeganguna. Thank you very much. We appreciate you guys. Kolisile Langa. Thank you. Let's see.
Tumelo Muja is saying, guys, please like the live before exiting.
Yes,
Before you leave, press the like button, please.
Press the like button. Press it before you exit. Nate, we see you. Our moderator. I haven't seen you. But now I see you now. Thank you very much. And please press Denny. We see you. I'm trying to super knowledge sharing channel. Thank you very much for supporting. We also see you, Thabo Bester. Thank you. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Please like the video. Let's put it on to 100, 300, 350. Go up. Don't forget to press that like button. It has been a day. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We'll see each other again tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes.